taller. Okay. Whenever you're ready, we may go. So what went well? What did you like about what you did?
I think I stayed smooth the whole time, or tried to.
Uh-huh.
And the cues were decent for the sopranos.
Mm-hmm. Well, didn't go as well as you'd hoped.
I think I got nervous and I went back to like drum major stuff, like habits. I tried to make it not that when I practice.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, I agreed with the good stuff you were talking about there. I didn't detect drum major stuff necessarily.
Okay.
And not to always say that drum major stuff is bad. I don't want to give that impression.
Right.
But there are just some stereotypical things we see that we'll call out. So here's things I wrote down. So good pickup. Bring your ictus with your right hand more center. Okay, because that's the center of your chi, that's your being, you know. So if you're going to use just one hand, center. The time you would split out from the center is when you introduce the other hand, and it should be balanced. Not necessarily out here,
Right.
but just where your arms feel comfortable, okay? So let's just start with that. Take it from the beginning and just think of, not necessarily the dead center, which just looks awkward, but just closer to center.
Okay.
And the arm, so there's this, which I'm trying to make my arm straight out, but that looks weird. Right? So let your arms naturally have space under your arm here. Then just get the hand more centered, so it can be angled a little more.
Okay.
But think about just where your hand is, and let your arm relax and be where it goes.
Okay.
Go ahead. Good. Okay. Nice. So other things, probably had good eye contact generally throughout. Good dynamics and some cues. You know, I think you were doing a good job with that. I like that your table is lower. That's a good place to be. In general, it shows good flow. You're tending to rock a little bit. So where your feet are like this right now. If you're looking down at them, move them like that. Put one back a little bit. Okay. Now get up on your toes. Stand up. Settle down where your heels are just touching the ground, but not putting weight on the heels. Put the weight on the balls of your feet.
Okay.
Okay. And now conduct it again.
Okay.
Solve some rocking issues.
Okay.
Right? But it also balances you. So you're in a position that if you need to move, you could. And it's okay to move on the podium. That's fine. But hand position, things like that are looking pretty good. The one other thing I wanted to ask you to do, I thought you did a good job. Sometimes you're showing it like an ooh mouth shape all the time.
Yeah.
You don't have to convince them.
Right.
So two things about that. Let your mouth just kind of hang, not necessarily hang open.
Yeah.
But your mouth has to be open a little bit because that shows that you're alive and people need to see that.
Yeah.
Because if you tight-lipped conduct, I haven't demonstrated that for the class yet, but I should sometime. That looks really awkward, right?
Yeah.
So just natural breathing. And if you want a specific vowel shape for a specific word, you can show it.
Right.
But don't sit in that position all the time because then we start looking at you going, why are we saying ooh the whole time?
Yeah.
And then that becomes a distraction. But yeah, so nice job.